beautiful. All right, we made it. Here's the cases, guys. See over here, we've got some Chinese rations. This is a Japanese ration. This is your Australian ration over here. Top row, these are your different heaters. Right there is the famous cordial alcohol ration. I forget, what's the gray box?
So that gray box there is a East German NVA ration. So that's the National Volksarmee, the People's Army of East Germany at the time. That's an emergency ration. It's got 6 tablets, I want to say, of compressed food. Essentially the same as a lot of the compressed food blocks we have out there today, like Mainstay and Daytrex and Millennium and that kind of stuff.
And what's the cardboard box?
The cardboard box there is a Yugoslavian ration.
Yugoslavian. Now you guys, I know you've seen pictures of these on the forum, but that box is tiny right there. It is not a huge box like you would think. It is very, very compact.
Let's actually pull that one out.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Let me see if I can get us a better angle.
Be very careful with this. Let's see what we can see. This here we've got. I am not sure. I'm guessing from the texture of that it was a drink mix or a soup.
Gives you guys a nice close-up.
How we going? Oh, we're doing great. We are live right now with a better camera and a little mobility and streaming in a little higher def and doing a little walk around. We've done a couple interviews so far. Nice. Do some more.
All right, I'll leave y'all at it then.
A little can of sardines. Actually looks to be in really good shape.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that.
There's a little leakage in here. Narzek luncheon meat. So that's there's variations on that word all over Eastern Europe, and it generally means some kind of chicken loaf or chicken and pork loaf or something to that effect.
Chicken, that's surprising. Usually I figured most of them would be all pork.
I know I've run into the chicken loaf from, I want to say, Poland.
Okay.
I don't know if offhand what this one would have in it. Looking at the ingredients doesn't really...
It doesn't tell you too much there.
You know, I do recognize the word Narzek, but I don't recognize just about anything else on there. Whatever this is, it's glued to the side there.
Now, if this were a CR1M, I would say that was canned fruit. That's what they look like out of the Australians. But who knows in this case?
In this case, it's very solid. I'm not sure. And the last item in here is, I want to say that's a chocolate bar.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. That looks like chocolate to me.
There's a little leakage from probably this thing throughout the whole package. Put that all back together.
Very nice, very nice. And who brought that for us to look at today?
So this is actually en route to its new owner after this.
All right.
This one, there is a copy of one of these in the Military Ration Museum, but this one is going to Gundog, I believe.
Oh, excellent. All right.
So Steve brought this along, hoping to get a chance to give it to Gundog out here. Let's see, how did that get back in?
That's the hardest part, getting them back in there once you open them.
Eyes, nose, groins, chin. Basic purpose. You go in those eyes and nose, or anything. It doesn't have to be just making his ear. Even if this will take his ear, this will take his consciousness. They don't think well. They don't want that much when they're running it down. It's pretty easy. So a little pop up there, and he'll go down. Now, move him a little on the back.
Well, we can wait on that one, put it back in later. Maybe people like to see it out in the case even.
Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll take a... don't want to...
Oh, true, that one, yeah, a little fragile.
Now here's the trick with some of these older rations. You can look at the stains on the inside to determine where everything lined up when you put it in there. There we go. That could have helped. There we go. Everything goes right back when you line up with the stains. Let's carefully get this top back together. And again, that's a not Polish, Yugoslavian. So that is from a country that no longer exists.
She's going to check outside on the live stream real quick. If you would run us through the bottom row, we may as well. You're doing a great job for us.
Well, let's, I'll walk the chair around and carry the cord. Let's see if we can get to the other one.
All right. Let's see. Now we got another set of displays on the other side, folks. Right over there. We're going to see if we can get you over that way. All right.
Not a recipe for disaster at all. Let that tripod get through first.
Fantastic. All right.
Tethered mobility is still mobility.
Absolutely. Alright, let's see how we can zoom in here. That's nice. So this is more of the US side, it looks like. We can get a close look down here for you.
So this bottom shelf is items that are going to be in an auction tomorrow. And we'll be doing our best to make sure that everybody online has the same ability to join in on that auction as everybody here. So we're going to be auctioning off an entire tray set with all your basics, all Melmac bits from the 1950s, a life raft ration, a abandoned ship ration, I believe is what that is. And then emergency parachute ration, like you might have seen Steve crack open a couple months ago. SA3 survival ration, so that's a survival Arctic 3. I believe that is the last generation of the survival Arctic that had cigarettes. And it has multiple packs of cigarettes in there. Speaking of old cans with cigarettes, right to the left of that is an accessory packet can. That also has a pack of cigarettes, but unlike a lot of the other rations at the time, that particular can comes with a full 20 pack of cigarettes. So regular size pack. And we have a I want to say a Korean Warrior, a B3 unit. Up top, I just have some of the photos that we've been able to acquire over the years. The original press photos sent back, some of the news clippings and various magazines during the Second World War, the Korean War, and some from the Vietnam War.
Look at that pile of rations, everybody.
Some of you might have heard me say earlier to Housel, you know, you have limited options when you're traveling a great distance, and what would make a great display but still fit in a checked bag? And photos, good photos, ended up being one of those choices. So we're in our other case here. This is the Military Ration Museum's NASA collection. And starting there, we've got a 2009 production beef tips with mushrooms. It's from Natick Labs. It's produced just like an MRE, but it's only in a production run generally of 20 to 100 at most. Wow. So these are made for astronauts specifically based on their tastes, and a lot of times they'll tailor meals around specific astronauts when they're going to go up in space for huge chunks of time. That is that is the only thermostabilized space station meal we have right now, but we're always working to find more. To the left, we've got two reproduction items. The candy and the butter cookies are painstakingly made to be exactly like the originals, but these are definitely replicas. The seller, I want to say it's Polly Wally Space or something to that effect, is very diligent about making exact replicas, but he makes sure that everybody knows up front that they are not the original items. They're just there to kind of round it all out and give everybody an idea of what those sorts of items would look like as produced for the space station. As you might notice on the later labels like this, there's dual language. Every one of these newer items has Russian and English. Right now, the United States is mostly partnered with Russia for space exploration, sending our astronauts up and back down in Soyuz capsules. And at most times, or all times, I believe, there's a mix of American and Russian, and sometimes from around the world, other astronauts working on the International Space Station, way up above our heads. To the left here is a teriyaki chicken, most likely late 90s production, as it also has the English and Russian, which didn't start until the mid to late 90s. So that is a freeze-dried meal that you would attach to a water spigot on the space station and squeeze a trigger that will fill the pouch with just what it needs and let it reconstitute, and then you cut it open and carefully spoon it out as you try to keep it all stuck to the inside of the pouch so it doesn't go wandering around the space station. To the left is our only confirmed flown item.
Oh, wow.
The seasoned scrambled eggs was on an STS, I want to say somewhere between 135 and 150 mission. We got confirmation that particular item was flown and did come back down to Earth. So that has been in one of our now decommissioned space shuttles and just wasn't selected to eat on that particular trip. And as the space shuttle had its own galley, generally things like food that would go up would come back down, whereas today they're never going to take the space on a returning Soyuz capsule to bring back food that they didn't choose to eat. Generally any trash is just ejected directly into space. To the left of that item, we have our only confirmed item from the Apollo program. We've been unable to determine whether or not this particular item is flown and was just rejected. As the Apollo program involved returning spacecraft, generally they didn't throw anything out into space or anything like that. So it could very well have been flown, but it's hard to get specific information. We do have a government-issued serial number and collection number from NASA for that item, and are working to determine whether or not that was flown, and if so, try to determine which particular Apollo mission that was on. Along the bottom, we have some photos and pamphlets of astronaut feeding systems and astronauts eating in various positions. Unlike a lot of meetups here, you're never going to have somebody eating completely upside down, totally naturally next to you. Well, I mean, or are you the one upside down? I guess you never know.
You guys, if you don't have emergency bus stop station yet, sure. I think you probably got a great couple if you haven't already. But it should be, you'll see a couple all over the place. If you go to the program called Stop the Bleed, anybody heard about it? Stop the Bleed is usually one of the people a lot of the federal government is $billions